It was an unspeakable tragedy in the skies above the nation's capital.
Crash, crash, crash. This is Alert 3. Crash, crash, crash.
American Flight 5342 on approach to D.C.'s Reagan National Airport from Wichita, and an Army Black Hawk helicopter on a training mission that flew right into it. There were 64 people on the regional jet, 3 on the Black Hawk. No one survived.
One of the family members wrote me a letter about their loved one who was on 5342. And he told me, leave no stone unturned, ask the hard questions, all the questions, ruffle feathers, and don't be afraid to hold everybody accountable. And that's what we did.
Jennifer Homendy is chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, and her investigators quickly found warning signs had been blinking for years.
There were people in the air traffic control tower at DCA who were raising red flags. The data was there. It was like the ultimate in bureaucracy, in my view. Nobody was listening or didn't want to, which is devastating to think about.
For decades, helicopters have flown along the Potomac River on a pathway known as Route 4, taking them just below the approach path for DCA's runway 33. And in just the 3 years before the crash, NTSB investigators uncovered more than 15,000 close calls at DCA between airliners and military choppers, 85 of them classified as critically close.
We mapped it out. We mapped out the glide slope, the path an aircraft has to take to land on runway 33, and we mapped out helicopter route 4, and we thought, how is it nobody could figure out 75 feet at best separates a helicopter from a passenger big commercial airline? How is that? Nowhere in the airspace would that be acceptable? Nowhere.
And an analysis of the Black Hawk's flight data recorder revealed a key piece of equipment had malfunctioned. The pilots had no idea they were nearly 100 feet too high.
Here at the NTSB lab in Washington, this is where they look at the so-called black boxes. They're not actually black. In this case, they're actually bright orange, the better to be spotted in the wreckage after an accident. And it's here that they're able to pull all kinds of data from all aircraft. How fast were they going? What was their altitude? And importantly, what were the pilots saying? Does it ever bother you? You're listening to the last moments of someone's life.
It does. Some of them, they stick with you sometimes, but we've got resources here that help us deal with it. We just focus on trying to figure out what happened and why it happened and how to prevent it from happening again.
One key recommendation, passing the Rotor Act, legislation to mandate every aircraft in the sky be equipped with GPS technology that automatically broadcasts its position, direction, and speed to and from pilots in every other aircraft. A provision which is awaiting action in the House and faces some Republican resistance.
What is the argument against doing this?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know. I sometimes hear cost. I don't understand how that's a big cost. It's available. I don't understand the pushback on it at all.
Pushback that's personal for the devastated families, for the first responders who couldn't save anyone that frigid night, even for the NTSB chair herself.
When I left the scene, it was about a month later, and I was on the same type of plane, CRJ and PSA Airlines, and I was heading south with my daughter to see a college. And I'm in the middle of the seat, and she's in the middle of the seat behind me, and I had just met Governor Youngkin at the hangar for the last time that I would be there, and I gave him some space. He was praying over by some of the personal effects. And on the plane, I just started crying. Because at some point, you have to let it out.
Josh Einiger, MS Now, Washington.